Hi. Hi, ladies. How are you? How are you? I'm fine. I'm fine. I hope mese muri right. Kumba mabasa. Zvese, I hope zvese zviri kufaya. Kuno kundi right stere zvangu zviri kufaya. And always, if I'm talking to you girls and giving this message, I appreciate that and I will be in my zone. I'm in my zone right now and I'm having fun. So welcome back to our Sunday dose. Okay, so what are we talking about today? So as a recap, last week we talked about our strengths. We talked about the importance of identifying with our strengths. Tikati ndokunova confidence, ndokunova self-worth. Huh? We talked about self-criticism, self-talk. We should always be mindful about how we talk to ourselves, what we say, about us, and we should avoid criticizing ourselves because ndo kunova limiting beliefs ndo anotikonzera stress. Tinokonzerwa stress when we feel good, we are not secure, the environment is not safe, we are not stable, and we feel all the low emotions. We feel frustrated, we feel blame, we feel guilty about something, or we are blaming some people, or we feel disappointed, or we feel some despair, leading into depression sometimes. We feel powerlessness, we feel hopeless sometimes, So we talked about empowering ourselves. If you want to feel empowered all the time, make your choices, make your decisions from an empowered point of view. Speak about yourself from an empowered point of view. Think about yourself from an empowered point of view. And even when you talk to yourself, even when whatever you identify with, let it be something that gives you power, something that gives you strength, something that you can, excuse me, something that gives you energy, something that motivates, that encourages you, rather than something that depletes your energy, or something that makes you sad, or something that makes you get disappointed in yourself. So that's what we talked about yesterday. Last week we talked about language. Tikati, mind your language. It's all in the language. So train yourself. Start bit by bit, slow by small by small, in little bits. Just train yourself to always celebrate your wins. Make an inventory, take an inventory of your wins, and celebrate them, because that's you who did that. If you don't celebrate your small wins, no one else will come back and say good job, you did well. You need to do that first. It has to start with you, then others will join you to celebrate yourself. So take inventory of your wins, take inventory of your strengths, take inventory of the things that you love doing, take inventory of the times that you are happy, and speak about yourself, of your lessons. Identify with those things. And when you talk about yourself, when you describe yourself, when you talk to yourself, always come from an empowered point of view, right? So that's a recap from our last conversation. So what are we talking about today? I'm excited about today because it's just the flip side of what we spoke about last time. Last time we talked about our strengths, our achievements, things that make us happy, and we should stay there. And we should mimic those moments. We should mimic the energy, mimic the vibe. Draw the power to yourself, right? Today, we're talking about the opposite. We're talking about challenges. We're talking about your weaknesses when you are at your weakest, or when you're in pain, when you are suffering, when you're experiencing low emotions, when you feel the world is not working for you, when you feel the universe is against you, or when you feel when all those low emotions are with you. Maybe one of them, you can feel about disappointments. Maybe you're disappointed in yourself or in somebody. You're not happy about a situation that's going on in your life. Maybe my bills, they are too much. You have some frustrations. You're not happy maybe about the people in your life. You are not happy about some circumstances. You are suffering somewhere, and you're feeling blame about something that you have done, or you feeling you're in regret or something that you didn't do, or something that you did, and you're feeling grateful about it. You are in despair. You're feeling powerless, you're feeling hopeless. Kuti, how can I change the situation? And that shaya kuti ndoita say that period. That's suffering. We call that suffering of the mind. It might not be physical pain, your physical pain. Say no. We're not talking about. We're just talking about when iwewe pachako you're facing challenges. So that's what we are talking about today. Last time we talked about our strengths and how we should use our strengths to empower ourselves, to build our confidence, to build our self-worth. What about challenges? How can we use our challenges to contribute towards our confidence, to contribute towards our self-worth? Right. So there is no way in that one. Munhuwese has been through challenges. Munhuwese is going through challenges every day. The storms anouya, zvoita, topinda, tobuda, topinda zvezvakare, tobuda, tomeno, toenda pasi. We call them breakdowns. Right now, ndirimo breakdown isingatomboiti. And some people will call them I'm in pain, I'm suffering. Azvisikutomboita ndikutambudzika mupfungwa. I don't even know what to do. So that's what we are talking about today. What do we do? How do we contribute? How do we make or how do our challenges contribute towards our joyful living? Inenge zvinonetsa ndiri kuti suffering yangu inozondifadza sei. How can I shift my mind to come to that space yokuti my challenges angu anocontribute sei towards my joyful living? All right. So our weaknesses, our challenges, our pain, our sufferings, our frustrations, our complaints. Okay, so guys, what I've learned and what I got to believe, and something that has moved me, it's something that has made me to transform, is whenever you go through a breakdown, there is always going to be a breakthrough. Every breakdown comes with a breakthrough. If you look at the heroes that you celebrate, kana mahero atinoona pa TV, when you watch Superman, when you watch Spider-Man, when you watch Batman, whatever movie, mahero atinoona, there's a nemesis, and then there's always a hero. So I do an antagonist movie, and then there's always a hero. That hero always goes through stress. They always go through storms. Vanopinda mafight, vanopinda but they always come out there stronger. And so that's exactly what our challenges do to us. Our strengths are gifts that we were born with. They are gifts from God. Those are gifts, that's what we share with ourselves. That's what we share with others. Those are our strengths. That's what we use to navigate life. We use our strengths. Sakama challenges, Edu, they are there to test us. They are there to test us because my muscles, Edu akawanda has kushanda. My talents, my gifts, Edu akawanda has kushanda. So in order for you to use those muscles, in order for you to know your strength, you have to be weak first. You have to go through troubles first in order to come out as a victor. So my challenges, for me, I believe that's how God put us to tests. That's how God puts us to test. Yeah, that's how God puts us to test. Kuti, yes, this is you. But in order for you to know kuti uri resilient, in order for you to know kuti uri patient, in order for you to know that you are kind, in order for you to know you are compassionate, in order for you to know that you are tolerant, in order for you to know you are a victor, in order for you to know you're an achiever, you have to go through stress first so that you see what to do, ipapo, and then you come out. That's why we have challenges. My challenges, they put us to test. They put us to test because ndokune growth. Ndokune growth. Growth comes out of challenges. You can't just be munhu akangonaka, angori smooth, angonetuma muscle twake akangogara kadai so, without knowing who your capabilities, without knowing your full potential. And your full potential only comes after waenda through stress. Wapfura ikoko ndo patinoti une potential. So you understand? So I always believe with every breakdown, there is a breakthrough. With every confusion, there's going to be clarity. We're confused right now in my situations, but clarity always come out. You always find a way to survive, to achieve, to persevere. Always. If you look at your history, we've all gone through troubles. We've all lost loved ones. We've all gone through pain and suffering, but you are standing here today. If you take inventory again of those times of troubles and tribulations and tested times, I don't know. What force was operating? What force was operating within you time yachona yoyo kuzosvika wabuda? Wakabuda simbara wakabuda one skill set new one, girls. Wakabuda one new skill set because the skill set yacho wanga usina ma skills iwayo akaita to overcome suffering and pain and all that stress. You didn't have them before the stress came. But for one skill set new one. Now you know if that storm comes back again, you know how to meet it, you know how to face it head on because you've been through it. Wakasumuka ukazvidasta madhaka so ukasumuka ukaenda. Now you had a new skill set. So that's for me. That's how challenges are for me. Every time I meet a challenge, I'm excited about it because I know at the end of that tunnel there's a light. There's a light at the end of that tunnel. There's always a silver lining. Why? Because the universe is there for me. Every pain, every suffering, every tribulation that I face, it's coming for me. It's coming for my benefit because I need to grow. I need to grow and discover my full potential. But I can never discover my full potential if I'm not tested. Kana muti chayo unoita through seasons. Unopinda mu winter, ugodona mashisha. Ugorowa nemhepo ugodai so. But when spring comes, unotanga kuita by new shoots, and then summer is blooming like this, my flowers, and then it bears fruit. It bears fruit because yaita stronger. It bears bigger fruits and stronger fruits as it grows. Saka ndo zvatinoita that grows all our challenges. Anoyane growth. We learn from our challenges. So the trick here, ladies, is every time a challenge, a situation that's difficult arises, don't be scared because tarisa kuti wakamboita sei kudara. And the force that operated, the force that assisted you to overcome is the same force that will be with you again. And you're going to learn new things about yourself. With every situation, you will learn more. Every challenge brings you closer to discovering who you are. It brings you closer to discovering who you are because ukanyatsofunga paunga uri 16 wanga une a set of troubles dzaunga nadzo zvokuti ukadzifesa 1 at 25 unongoti zvishoma apo 1 at 35 zvandairwadza ndine 25 years zvazvishoma. Now 1 at 45 zvekurwadza une 35 ka zvazvishoma izvinezvi zvakapera because you've been overcoming. So take inventory of those times. And when you talk about your stories, when you talk about the times of pain, pedzesa story kuti asikana inini zvinhu zvandakamboitaka i1 2 3 4 ndakatambudzika asi this is what I did to get out of the mess. This is what I did to get out of the strain. Kana kuri kunamata taura, kana iri help that you got from other people. You understand? Kana uriwe wakaenda ukanovhundunyura ukarima ukakwira ukadzika, say it. Always finish your story because I know izvozvo madzimai tinoda story kutaura nyaya dzedu tichida sympathy kuti kana ndakambotambudzwa mumba kana ndakaita se ndinoda kuitaura nyaya yekungotambudzwa kwangu chete ndobva ndagumira ipapo zvinhu zvanga zvakapresa. Zvako hazvitombosvika pane zvandakasvika inini, zvangu zvakapresa asikana. Then I stop there. But I forget to acknowledge the place, the space that I am today. Good, yes, zvanga zvakapresa, but I'm no longer there right now because this is what happened. This is how I came out of it. Before that, ndanga ndisingaziye zvakati, but now ndaa-up. I can give you an example of inini time yangu yanandine depression. I always talk about that because being vulnerable about your challenges, being able to admit that I'm facing a challenge, and being able to admit that you are being vulnerable, and that's how you are asking, the universe to provide for you. Saka inini ndandiri depression ende zvanga zvakwana ndanga ndanzwa bata anditi, but clarity came. Now I'm now teaching other women how to overcome depression and how to live a joyful life. Had it not been for that time of depression, had it not been for the situations that ndakaita go through all that time, I would not be sitting here. I would not have been transformed. I would not have the clarity that I have today had it not been for the laws. Now I'm high because of the laws. Now I'm strong because I've been weak. I've tested how weak is, and now I'm strong. You understand? So in those guys, you become a hero because of your challenges. You learn from your challenges. What are a new skill set? I always want to say skill set because sometimes we talk about skill sets. Tichungo taura, but even in my life, my skill sets, my new one. If my child is to come to me in a problem, I know exactly, if I have faced that problem, I know exactly how to comfort her and how to speak to her and how to tell her that things are going to be okay because they've been okay for me. So that's what challenges do to us. And whenever you speak about your challenges, complete the story and talk about how you overcame and what you did to overcome, because your story is what helps another sister. Your story is what helps another person who is facing the same troubles. Like I always believe, we experience life for others and others also experience life for me. But because of watching TV and reading news, is something to play with because other people have experienced that for me. So when we share our stories, let's share our stories bearing in mind that you are also an inspiration to the next sister. You are also an example to another person who is going through the same trials and tribulations that you've been through, and you managed to overcome. You persevered and you came through, because with every breakdown there is a breakthrough. With every confusion there is clarity. So whenever you face my challenges, ask yourself, what am I going to learn here? What is God trying to tell me here? What muscles should I exercise that I'm not using? What's the potential? What's coming for me? Who is the person? What skill set am I going to get? What potential am I going to discover? You understand? Saka atina kuti my challenges are away, but don't be afraid of them. You need to embrace your challenges. You need to embrace your vulnerability. Speak about it and speak about how you overcome. That way, whenever my challenges are coming, how charge, because now you acknowledge you've been through worse before and you overcame. And so when challenges come, learn from them, learn your lessons from them. Ask yourself, what is it that I'm being shown here? What is it that I'm supposed to learn? Am I supposed to drop something? Is it a revelation? Maybe I must change my belief systems, or is it a revelation? Maybe I must gain some skill set, or I'm being called to action. Maybe this is asking me to do something about this situation. What is it? Ask yourself those questions when my challenges come, because that's how we grow. That's where growth comes from. Growth aingoinda kangogara. Even ukadiridza maruva anotanga atombotota. They go through stress because wamatotesa. Even though ari kuda mvura yacho, but watomboita stress. they have to go under stress so that they can drink that water, absorb that water, and then thrive. And did it. So how do you create a thriving environment when you're suffering like this? You be compassionate with yourself instead of becoming your suffering, instead of identifying with your pain or becoming the pain that you're feeling. You learn from them and you tell yourself, good, I'm not the only one in this world. I'm not the only one who is going through this. A lot of people have gone through this and they have also overcome. I can ask for help. I can be vulnerable and ask for help. This is the time to nurture myself. This is the time for self-love. This is the time for self-care. This is for time for retreat or kudzokera kumashure and be quiet so that I can understand what's going on. So that I can understand what's being asked of me. But this is not the time yekuenda kunopareda uchiramba uchingodzokorora suffering yako when you are not introspecting and asking yourself questions. Because I know some people, we like talking about our sufferings, so much, but we are not doing anything about it. But this is the time, a call for action. Go and take your time, rest and sleep. Or even if it takes you a week or 2 weeks, whatever months, it's time for you to introspect and be compassionate with yourself, because you are at your weakest. You need to nurture yourself until you can bounce back to your normal self, which is your talents, which is your gifts, and then you use them in the world to explore. Learn from your challenges, embrace your challenges. Don't run away from your challenges. Embrace them and accept your challenges. Weigh your options. Do I have option A, option B, option C? Can I open for me to, to fix my challenges or to accept them? Can I this number options? Then I have to accept it, and then you accept and you embrace. You understand? So my challenges, ladies, they are there. Dopanova growth ipapo. So let's not be afraid. Let's not be scared to talk about them. Let's not be scared to ask for help. Let's not be scared to nurture ourselves and give ourselves time. You're good. I'm taking time off. I'm not available. So that you can assess yourself and ask yourself these questions. What is the universe trying to tell me? Clarity will always come one day. Healing takes time. It takes time. Love yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Do not identify with your suffering, but rather learn from your suffering. Embrace your suffering. Learn from it and grow, because that's where new skill sets comes from. That's where growth comes from. That's how your potential is unleashed. That's how you get closer to being yourself. So that's what I have for you today about challenges, ladies. Last week we talked about our strengths, how we can use our strengths towards, to build our confidence, to build our self-worth, and to live a joyful life. Now this is how we can use our challenges to build our confidence, to build our self-worth, and to live a happier life. Do not be afraid of your challenges. Build a tribe that supports you. Be compassionate with yourself, love yourself, and take care of yourself. Thank you so much, ladies. See you next time. Bye-bye.